Bronx-born Mickey Drexler is a pizza-loving, real-deal CEO who has been called everything from a merchant prince to a retail therapist. His fashion career began on the floors of department stores like Abraham Strauss, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and other New York fashion emporiums. He took the Gap to the top of the fashion heap and founded Old Navy. He then restyled the J.Crew group, where he now holds the reins and watches every detail, from the buttons on the cargo pants to the quality of cashmere and the colorful sweaters. Drexler is in town to celebrate the opening of J.Crew Vancouver, and it is my pleasure to welcome Mickey Drexler to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Thank you. Well, it's exciting to be here. I have not been to Vancouver, I think, but once many decades ago. So it's exciting to be here and visited the store this morning, and we're opening tomorrow morning, and we're really excited about that.
Well, rumor has it you're a detail man, so I suspect you walked the store, and not only did you walk the store, you gave out a little bit of advice. Yay, nay?
Well, it's always in my DNA to look for what we can do better, but actually what concerns me today, and I want our customers to know, is that we didn't get our Ludlow suit deliveries. So, and I don't know if you know about the Ludlow suit, but we opened a store in Manhattan called Ludlow at 50 Hudson Street, and it's a famous suit we sell and make. So that was a detail that I'm concerned about. Plus, men's is on the second floor, and our signs are not up yet. But otherwise, I thought the store looked fantastic.
But the Ludlow suit, great fabric. What is it about the Ludlow suit for a man that intrigues him?
Well, it's more than the Ludlow for man and for women, but most men don't like to shop, we find. They want it to be simple, easy, with not too much choice. And it's one suit in about 15 different ways, narrow lapel-ish, narrow-ish, great fit, and the best fabrics in the world. And it's also well priced, but I find, and we find, most men want to be told what to buy. If they love it, they buy it, and it becomes a habit.
And price isn't an issue?
Well,
if they find that particular habit?
Well, for men, of course, price is always an issue, but we live by having value in our businesses everywhere. I am, since my early days, always resented companies that sold their products at what one might consider too high a price. Our Ludlow suits range from, I think, about $550 to $750. In cashmere, it's about $1,000 or $1,200. And when you go to the competition, you can see the prices 2 or 3 times that. Why? Because we have an economic model that delivers design and make directly to a consumer, and most other stores have an extra profit in there. But it's a mission we're on. We live that mission in men's, women's, and kids.
Is it tougher to market to a male or a female these days?
Well, that's a good question. I think a male, it takes a long time to break habits in where they shop. Once you own a male customer, it becomes a habit again. Women are, I always say the biggest sport in the world is women and shopping, and they love that. And it's an intuitive thing. Men are not intuitive. They're intimidated in our experience. So I think it's, once you got the guy and you keep your job up, you have him. I'd say that about women also. They love you and leave you if the clothes aren't right, and that's how it should be.
Well, it's a rare man that goes through the racks.
Right.
I don't know many men who even try on.
Well,
they go and they say, I want the button down, this length sleeve, I want a slim shirt, I want it blue.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, men, we always find they're intimidated, they want help. All of us feel that way. And there's too many choices in most men's stores. We don't give a lot of choice in men's. We've opened up about 7 or 8 freestanding men's shops in the U.S., and we're looking to do that worldwide because we like what we do in men's. We think it's very special.
Who hooked you on clothes?
Well, I think, it's hard to say. My dad worked in the garment business, so I worked part-time in the Garment Center in New York, which is in the 30s on 8th Avenue, whatever. Being here in Vancouver, detail's important.
Right.
And I don't know if it was a hook or not. My dad was always very well dressed. Beyond that, it was never discussed, because when I grew up, it wasn't an issue at home.
So you had dapper dad, not particularly wealthy father. He sold buttons, he sold
he bought
fragments,
bought piece goods from, we lived very modestly in the Bronx,
Yes, I read that about you, that you once had to sleep in a cot in the hall. And
I always slept in the foyer. I never had a bedroom, which is, it is what it is. It's okay.
Here's a man who always wanted a bedroom.
Yes.
And rumor has it, you found some.
I have a number of bedrooms, yes.
And I know you like real estate. Why? What was that about?
Well, to me, real estate and residential real estate, it's art that you actually live in. And I find that, you know, buying an expensive painting or not an expensive painting, to me is not as real or as exciting as buying a beautiful home or building a beautiful home in a special spot. So I always felt that owning a beautiful home is living in the art, in the picture, in a sense. So I just enjoy that. And it's creative, and I enjoy that too.
And do you have an architect of choice?
Thierry Despont is a friend and an architect of choice. We've been working together for 20 years, and you know, we have a wonderful arrangement, he, my wife, and I, and it's creative and intuitive and fun.
So back to the retail business, the business of the retail business. The Gap, you built the brand. You talked us into buying a lot of khakis.
Yes.
And music in the store and Mellow Yellow and all of that. When you started at the Gap, what was it? What was it like?
Well, it'll probably take a lot longer, but very briefly, it was a very undistinguished discounter kind of business that was invented as a Levi's only brand. When I got there, it was about, I guess, 12 or 13 years old, and was going south as the founder, Don Fisher, knew. We got together, and it was really a business that paid no respect to the customer. Absolutely none. Buy it on sale and buy it less on sale, more on sale. Don't worry about quality, take the quality out. No point of view, no aesthetic, no style. All the things that a lot of businesses that are going south do. They did not pay attention to the consumer, along with a lot of other problems. Famous name, great real estate, and then you have to draw a picture in your mind of where it goes. I felt, and we felt, that there was no one in America then doing good-looking clothes that were affordable.
And affordable's big. Designer clothes, some say, are the biggest ripoff going. You might know whether or not that's true, but if there's the Gucci on the label or the Yves Saint Laurent or the Armani, you are paying for it.
Well, you're paying for it plenty, and you're paying for it also because of the formula. Remember, the designers sell to a department store, a specialty store. There's that profit. The specialty store then sells to the consumer. So there's their profit. Yes, we know the real value, and I'm obsessed with value, and it's been part of my career since the early days.
Did Sharon Stone wear the Gap T-shirt to the Academy Awards on your watch?
She did, and she negotiated a deal. No one knows this. And she called her back, and I couldn't imagine, you know, Sharon Stone, whatever. And she said, I will wear, well, I don't know if I've ever said this, I will wear the Gap T-shirt if you, in fact, contribute $250,000 to her charity. And I hemmed and hawed. She was very smart. She knew exactly what her input would mean to the business. I was hemming and hawing. My then associate, Maggie Gross, said, just do it. And I said, okay, we'll do it. It was March 25th, I'll never forget, and I watched the Academy Awards, not one word, and I felt like a jerk. Next morning, it was all over the news, and I blessed her, and our charitable contribution paid itself many times over.
Free PR and the red carpet.
Yes.
Why not?
Well, it happens once in a while. You get lucky.
And did you go to the office and look at the sales figures to see how many Gap T-shirts flew out of the store once Sharon Stone hit the red carpet?
It's this in perpetuity thing that helps any business where you get that kind of credit. And it was extraordinary. And remember, Gap was a moderate seller price-wise, but a very cool seller in our mind.
And it's the idea, as a female, I can wear the $1 million suit, and I don't have to pay $300 for the T-shirt.
Well, it's also something today that kind of drives us like crazy, because if you look at clothes at Gap or even Madewell, which is our new company, the value, we're a value player with the best quality fabrics in the world, and made in Italy shoes. So I always look at it and say, why would anyone want to pay all that money? But there is a validation and a logo thing. People need to feel confident about how they dress.
Okay. And apparently your late friend Steve Jobs said to you, you know what, Mickey? I think they're going to fire you at the Gap.
Yes, he did.
Is that true?
Well, it's true, but he said it when it was, they didn't tell him that I was going to be fired. He was on the board. And he called me at home the night before and said, you're being fired in the morning.
great, that's a good pal. And was that a relief in a way? I mean, you'd built the brand, you're at the top.
Well,
things are rocking right along.
You know, you kind of know when your time is up, and I wasn't having fun, but when your name is on the front door, kind of, and your team's name is, you never give up. We went through a tough period. But frankly, in hindsight, I'm thrilled. I'm back in New York, which is my hometown. I'm running a business that I love running. And it was a great run at the Gap with Don and the team. And
yes.
18 years. And when businesses get too big, they're just not as much fun anymore. So
I can understand that. Law firms, too. Same. In San Francisco, a lot different than New York.
Yes.
So first days on the floor at J.Crew. You walk in, you see some, I think there were oars on the shirts.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like
that's right.
that.
That was one of our logos, yes, among other things.
And you say, or in your mind, your fashion mind, you say, well, what's with the oars?
Well, no, you always have a vision and a picture, or I do. Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, Crew Cuts, Gap Kids, whatever. So you walk in saying, this is what it should be, but it's in your mind, and then you focus like crazy, and you don't get distracted. You look at the team, and it's kind of saving a sinking ship, because J.Crew was pretty much in enormous debt, over $600 million in debt, and going south quickly. So you do what you have to get done. Some of it's not pretty, but you keep moving towards the vision and towards the end result. And nothing really can stop you other than doing it the right way. And that's what we did.
And when you do things the right way, as you know, sometimes you have to fire people.
Yes.
You just do.
Well, you know, I always look at that as if you do it right and you do it nice, it's in their best interests and the company's best interests. And things work out. Just be straightforward and honest about things. And
okay, and tell people when they're not doing something.
Always.
Not any good CEO.
Well, most people are afraid to tell someone what they really think.
Right.
And for me, I've learned I've always wanted to be told, because you do better. You want to please your bosses, you want to please your customers, you want to please your shareholders. And if you don't tell someone, how are they going to know that?
Absolutely. And I know you learn from your mistakes. We all like to fail up.
Yes, right.
As someone said.
Right. Fail up, but also have results that you've earned the failing upward.
Oh, that.
A lot of people fail up and they don't necessarily do anything.
Sure. But you did have a vision, I know, when you went into J.Crew, that a cashmere sweater is okay, but it should be good cashmere. So you went to Italy and Europe and found quality.
Yep.
Very important.
One of the best makers, yes.
Is that piano?
I can't say.
Okay. I can't say. I think I read.
Right.
Okay.
I can't.